Huntley has pleaded for forgiveness for murdering 10-year-old Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman, claiming he thinks about them every day. In a leaked recording, the former school caretaker apologized for the pain he had caused the victims' families as well as his own. It is the first time the Soham murderer, now 44, has been heard in over 10 years. His voice can reportedly be heard cracking with emotion in the tape recorded behind bars in the confession linked to The Sun. Huntley said, "What I will say is that I am so terribly sorry for what I have done. I know the people of Soham took me into their community, they trusted me, gave me a job and a home. And I betrayed them in the worst possible way, and I am sorry for what I have done. Sorry for the pain I have caused to the families and friends of Holly and Jessica, for the pain I have caused my family and friends, and for the pain I have caused the community of Soham. I am genuinely sorry, and it breaks my heart when it is reported I have no remorse. That I relish something I do not," he added. "I can't change anything. I cannot remove that day from history, what I have done. I know those girls would be 26 this year, with families of their own, jobs and lives. I thought about them when they were turning 21 and when they were turning 18. I know no matter what I say that people are not going to think any better of me, but I would much rather people have the truth about how I feel. I have nothing to gain by saying these things. I know I am never getting out. I have accepted that from day one." Huntley said he does not want to be freed from prison and had allegedly heard about the plan to release taxi rapist John Worboys. He insisted he will not apply for parole out of consideration for his victims' families. "I accepted a long time ago my life was in jail," he said. "I don't really think about getting out. It is a non-starter. I hear about other prisoners coming up for parole. That makes you think a bit. I will never apply for it. I want it made quite clear that I never ever, despite legal advice, thought about appealing against my sentence because I did not want to cause the families any more pain. I did not want to prolong things. I will never ever apply to leave prison, never ever apply for parole. I will die in prison. I accept that," he added. "I don't believe I should be free. Not because I believe I am a danger, but because 2 young girls are dead and I do not deserve to be released." Huntley murdered the 2 girls at his home in Soham, Cambridgeshire. They had been at a family barbecue in August 2002 when they left to walk to a nearby sweet shop. Their bodies were found nearly a fortnight later, around 14 miles away in a ditch near Lakenheath, Suffolk. Holly and Jessica's families were subjected to a full court hearing in 2003 because Huntley refused to plead guilty. He was later sentenced to 2 life terms with a minimum 40-year term at the maximum security Franklin prison in Durham. He has now reportedly admitted on the recordings to killing Jessica to prevent her from raising the alarm. After Holly died in his bath in what he claims was an accident, Huntley said, "I maintain that the first one was a genuine accident. Okay, the second one I panicked whilst I sat in court. I just acted instinctively. I knew I had to stop her leaving the house." Huntley can be heard on the recording stating that he wanted to confess to the manslaughter of Holly and to the murder of Jessica. "That was never going to happen, as I wanted to be able to say what happened in court," he said. "It was something I thought very long and hard about because I did not want families through that trial." In a TV interview following the disappearance of Holly and Jessica, Huntley said that he was likely to be the last person to have seen them that day after they were reported missing. Despite knowing that he had killed them, he also said he hoped the girls were still alive. The murderer even gave his condolences to Holly's father Kevin. However, 16 years after the murders, Huntley claims he was set up. He said, "Obviously prior to my arrest, okay. I feel like I was betrayed by the press because I was pestered because I lived on site and I did not give an interview for a while, and I did not want to either. Obviously they found out I had said to the police that I was one of the last people to see the girls. But when the press found that out, they started hounding me and I refused to give an interview. I never wanted to court the press or to give any interviews. I made the decision to give the interview to stop the pestering. Huntley whined in the tape about food in prison and said he spends his time playing chess and painting. Prison is a very strange thing, he said. You develop acquaintances more than friends. The prison food is shocking. We send out meals like fish and chips every weekend. I am a painter. I play chess. I play Scrabble, do crosswords. I used to be a good chess player, but I keep getting all these headaches. Everybody knows I have had suicide attempts and I have been in a coma. I have had a lot of health problems since and they have deteriorated over the years to the point now where I am really struggling. Nobody can seem to figure out what is wrong with me. Every time they put me on medication, my body reacts very badly to it. They keep saying it is down to stress. The murderer then spoke about things he misses while in prison, such as cuddling a girlfriend and alcohol, adding, "Prison is difficult, and the reason it is difficult, I mean, they take away your independence, and believe me, people don't realize what that is until you lose it." Huntley said he spends his days reflecting on his offenses. "I think about why I am in almost every day," he said. When you don't read papers or see documentaries, you lose contact with the reality of the situation because it is like a totally separate world out there to what I have in here. The killer said he was answerable to the family and friends of Holly and Jessica, to the community of Soham and to my family and friends. But added, "I understand and accept what I did affect the country as a whole, and I am sorry for the way I made the country feel and for how it has affected people." By Fiona Parker, Huntley has spoken of how he wishes Maxine Carr every happiness. Despite believing that she betrayed him during his murder trial in the prison tapes, Huntley denies still being in love with her. But he says that he wishes her all the best and hopes that she has been able to move on. His former lover was jailed for giving Huntley a false alibi, then a 25-year-old teaching assistant. Carr claimed she had been at home with Huntley on the night Holly and Jessica disappeared, prompting police to eliminate him as a suspect. In the tapes, Huntley is heard saying, "I wish her all the very best. I hope she is happy in what she is doing. I just hope she has found happiness. I hope she has been able to move on from all this." Carr was cleared of 2 charges of aiding an offender but served 21 months in jail for perverting the course of justice. She was released in May 2004, then granted a lifelong anonymity order and a new identity. Carr was not exposed until a teenage rugby player she was having an affair with came forward to reveal she had been with him on the night in question in her hometown of Grimsby. By the time police arrested Carr and Huntley on August 17, 2002, she had cleaned his cottage where the girls died. A few hours later, the bodies of Holly and Jessica were found. Because of Carr's lies, they lay undiscovered in a ditch for 13 days. Carr turned on Huntley during his murder trial, describing him as that thing in the box as he sat in the dock at the Old Bailey. Huntley has previously claimed that it was Carr who orchestrated the cover-up. He said she told him to move the girls' bodies from his car boot to remote woodland near Lakenhead, Suffolk. In the tapes, Huntley says, "In court she told some lies in order to distance herself from me, and I understand that. I was a little bit shocked at how far she actually did go." Carr, now 40, had a child in 2014 and went on to marry that year at a luxury hotel.
breaks that.